chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Antes del nombre América, antes del hierro y la cruz, había pueblos que hablaban con la tierra y con la luz. No era un mundo vacío, era ciencia y corazón. La historia empezó aquí mismo, aunque el invasor no pida perdón. Sembramos tiempo en el cielo cuando el mundo no sabía contar. El cero nació en la selva, el maíz nos enseñó a pensar. Calendarios y medicina, ciudades frente al sol. No era mito ni leyenda, era pueblo, era voz. No fue descubrimiento, fue invasión. No fue silencio, fue opresión. Antes del mapa, antes de ti, había pueblos completos que no vas a entender. No éramos pasado, somos raíz, aunque nos llamen historia, seguimos aquí. Desde el barro del origen hasta el jaguar ancestral, desde la selva profunda hasta el águila solar, ciudades que eran mundos cuando Europa se partió, capitales que flotaban mientras el viejo mundo ardió. En la montaña aprendimos a vivir sin dominar, sin rueda y sin bestias, pero sabiendo gobernar. Caminos y comunidad, trabajo como misión. El poder no era conquista, era responsabilidad. No fue progreso, fue despojo. No fue fe, fue antojo. Antes del mapa, antes de ti, había pueblos completos que no vas a entender. No éramos civilización a balazos y la fe pa'l control, pero la tierra recuerda, la raíz no se rinde, aunque cambien las banderas, la herida no se extingue. De norte a sur somos la misma raíz, la misma herida que se niega a morir. De norte a sur nadie sobra aquí, Latinoamérica sigue y no va a pedir permiso para existir.
Del mar los vieron llegar, mis hermanos emplumados eran los hombres barbados de la profecía esperada. Se oyó la voz del monarca de que el Dios había llegado y les abrimos la puerta. Por temor a lo ignorado, iban montados en bestias, como demonios del mal, iban con fuego en las manos y cubiertos de metal. Solo el valor de unos cuantos les opuso resistencia, y al mirar correr la sangre se llenaron de vergüenza, porque los dioses ni comen ni gozan con lo robado. Y cuando nos dimos cuenta, ya todo estaba acabado, y en ese error entregamos la grandeza del pasado, y en ese error nos quedamos 300 años esclavos. Se nos quedó el maleficio de brindar al extranjero nuestra fe, nuestra cultura, nuestro pan, nuestro dinero, y le seguimos cambiando oro por cuentas de vidrio, y damos nuestras riquezas por sus espejos con brillo. Siglo XX nos siguen llegando rubios y les abrimos la casa y los llamamos amigos, pero si llega cansado un indio de andar la sierra, lo humillamos y lo vemos como extraño por su tierra. Que te muestras humilde ante el extranjero, pero te vuelves soberbio con tus hermanos del pueblo. Oh, maldición de Malinche, enfermedad del presente, ¿cuándo dejarás mi tierra? ¿Cuándo harás libre a mi gente?
autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Testing. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Hope y'all doing well. Let me turn up some music here. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So, excuse me. Let's see who's here. I saw some people post some stuff, but I walked away for a bit. What up, Warakuya? Good to have you here, brother. Good to have you here, bro. What up, Wedo? Good to have you here, dude. Good to have you here, brother. Diana SGV, yeah. Wedo. Just Wedo. Nah, I'm just kidding. Oh, Diana, please let me skip some stuff. I'm just trying to see if anybody said anything for the first time. Or Sister Mestley, good to have you here. Lucifer Lucero, hey, what's up, bro? Good to have you too. So anyhow, look, out of respect for the family, I didn't want to use the hermano's picture. So I thought I could find something. I thought I could find something different, and I'm thankful that I did. I don't want you to forget this man's name. This hit home. You know, we've heard a lot of these things going on, right? But this one hit home, bro. He's around my age, hardworking man that just cares about his work, comes home, cares about his family, goes to work, comes home, like it just seemed like that. He was like that because you can't raise 3 kids, 2 out of college already and 1 in the way. If you're a fucking bum, if you're not a good father, if you've never made time for them, if they don't even know how to talk to you, it's hard to achieve those things. But this man achieved that. Almost 40 years married. Now his wife doesn't have her husband of 52 years old, bro. So let me I just wanted to say that. That's why, you see this thumbnail. Before we get going, let's read that particular verse here. Sirach 21:4 says, "To terrify and do wrong will waste riches, Thus, the house of a proud man shall be made desolate. In case you guys don't know, the Bible should have the Apocrypha in there too. If they don't, they've been lying to you. There's also other translations you can find this verse in. But if you think about what it's actually saying, to terrify and do wrong, what did we see? Or what have we seen? For a long fucking time. I know I'm only 50, right? But I know that my family members, family and history has taught me that this is nothing new. Now it says here that it also says, thus the house of a proud man shall be made desolate. And I want to share this with you guys so you can understand. I'm going to read it quick because it's several verses, but you'll understand exactly what it's talking about. So when we see this, and we've seen it, there's no other nation of people that have been so destructive, so maniacal, diabolical, con ganas de querer matar a todos, güey, since other than the Europeans, man. I have never seen or even read in history. Now we see the atrocities of other nations doing certain things, but when you talk about it in such a extended way, not locally, Genghis Khan, China came over certain areas, not like, that space. We're talking about worldwide. 300 plus wars that this country has instigated. That's the fact. That's the truth. 2 Ezra 15:1 says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Now we know these imaginations, again, this is all to, and I pray that you brothers or sisters who appreciate this channel, this message, can pray for, not necessarily for the brother, because he's not here with us no more. You need to pray for the family. You need to pray for the family. That's what you should focus on your prayers on. And that's why I'm bringing this to light, man. Because now that there's more coming out, it's even more fucking fucked up, bro. So again, this was a man that supposedly America, quote unquote, wanted him to assimilate, right? The American dream, the house, the business, the kids in college. And guess what he probably more likely was? A Christmas Christian that showed up on Sunday, bowed down to the white Jesus, and that's how Christianity paid him back. So until we understand what that type of religion has done to our gente, you're going to continue to go through this. Then it says, fear not the imaginations against thee. For all of you that understand what I'm talking about, that's why the fear of that stuff does not happen no more. I'll tell you, man, this for me, it pains me. This what Lorenzo went through, this one hurt. This one, for some reason, hurt, man. It hurt. It's since I heard it, it was just like, bro, like, come on, man. We're all parents here. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the people that listen, we're like in the 30s or 50s. Somewhere, it's a couple of y'all are in the 60s, right? But we're all parents, bro. And most parents, maybe some of us don't have some kids in college. Some of us do. Maybe some of us don't. And we know people that do, right? You know what I'm saying? So you know what type of parent it took for them kids to get to that point, bro. And not only did they graduate, they actually have good positions and they're respectful people. Gente con buen cariño, güey. Que no se creen que son demasiado because they probably have a higher education. Nah, they just respect you. You respect them, they respect you. Why? Because they have I don't want to say they have a humble father. Because they just got rid of his flesh, bro. They didn't get rid of his spirit. It says, let me read it again. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So what are they saying today? What are these people now? In case you don't know, they're like, oh, he tried to run us over with his van. That's where we shot the motherfucker. He tried to run us over with his van. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. Why? Because it's going to continue to happen. That speaks against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. We read the verse before. I put it in here as a note. Sirach 21:4. To tarry and do wrong will waste riches, which is what they fucking strive for. Isn't that where they came? For gold as well? Thus the house of proud men shall be made desolate. We've heard that word all across the scriptures. Then it says, for the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Verse 4. Behold, say the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. I don't know if you guys noticed this year, man. A lot of shit's been going on. Extreme heat, extreme weather, extreme floods, earthquakes. I'm not saying, oh, look at this, but there are warning signs based on what you read in the scriptures. Like when you start seeing that even to a fucking chaotic magnitude, like look, my brother lives in in Nevada. They're about to hit 120 degrees over there. Do you know that your skin will get burned at 125? Look it up. At 125 degrees, if you walk out in the sun, your skin will burn. For wickedness has, behold, say the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, the famine, death, and destruction. For the wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth. The whole earth. Remember I said earlier, there were many nations that went to war and fought and killed and all that. None have done it like this one. Worldwide destruction. Not down south, not up north in Canada, all over. Africa, North Europe, Russia, Asia, the islands, Middle East, India, Africa, you know what I mean? Therefore say the Lord, hold on a second, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So we're at remember it's 250. It's 250. Typically a nation falls at around 250. Therefore say the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Now that means that you're going to see like a little quicker retribution. And I'm going to give you an example of that. Okay? Not like, oh shit, when, Lord? I'm talking about like, boom, you're going to see it. I'm going to show you. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. I know some of you have been praying, man. So have I, bro. Like, this one hurt, man. This one hurt, bro. From what I understand, he seemed like a good father, had his own business, made other jobs available for other brothers, bro. What more do you fucking want? White man and white racist woman. What more do you fucking want? He was also a Christian. I'm fucking sure he was. That wasn't enough, was he? Wasn't enough. He just looked funny to you because he didn't look white. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore say the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people, verse 9. Now, there was a verse that I read earlier. And, hold on, was it this one? Let me start at the beginning. Where was I at? Started in Sirach. Sirach 7:1. Or this one. Let me see. There was a verse that I saw that talked about. Hold on, sorry about that. There was a verse that I saw that talked about, don't worry about don't pray for the death of your enemy, you know what I mean? As much as it hurts you, because they're also going to die. That's what it says. It's in Sirach. I don't remember exactly where. But part of me, man, like instead of me being angry, bro, I focus more on the good side of this family. Right? Because like hey, look, like the scripture said, man, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Let me take this down real quick. I'm going to show you this video. Remember, it says retributions are coming quicker, okay?
Get this out of here. Illegal.
This man seen shouting at a fruit stand owner is now dead after an officer-involved shooting Wednesday.
Go back to Mexico. Illegal.
Oregon State Police say they went to arrest 49-year-old Daniel Edward Noonan for bias-related.
Get this out of here. Illegal.
This man seen shouting at a fruit stand owner is now dead after an officer-involved shooting Wednesday.
Go back to Mexico. Illegal.
Oregon State Police say they went to arrest 49-year-old Daniel Edward Noonan for bias-related crimes connected to this incident. On Wednesday, when troopers and Newport police went to a home along Siletz Highway, authorities say Noonan immediately engaged officers in gunfire. Officers returned the fire, critically injuring him. He later died at the hospital.
Now, I'm giving you the aftermath. This is what he did.
Illegal.
The investigation began here off Highway 101 and 229 last Thursday, with fruit scattered across the ground. Witnesses say they feared for their safety and the owner, Reyna's.
Scary. I mean, it escalated quickly. When I called the police 4 times on last Thursday, I knew that person was unhinged.
Police say they received reports of a man pushing a woman into a fruit stand while yelling racial slurs and attempting to take her purse.
You can't do it. You can't do that.
When Noonan returned, tensions spiked as he appears to collide with the owner's husband. Bystanders like Daryl Blanchard stepped in to help.
He was being very racist. I mean, on top of it, I've never ever in my life heard anybody talk like that, racist-wise. That was totally uncalled for.
Yeah. So before.
All right, so I showed you the first video, how it ended. That's what he did. So let's watch the ending. Like I said, or no, forgive me. Like what I read to you, I did not say it. The word of our Creator said it, okay? He said, 2 Ezra 15:6, for wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, meaning that's it. Therefore say the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. What the hell did the lady do to this piece of shit bastard? She's just trying to make money to survive. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Like, no, get out of here. You're not legal. You're an illegal. They think they're legally able to say that because who's giving them the example? Bro, a friend of mine, a good brother told me, what up, bro? You know, if you hear this, it's you. You know what I'm saying? Jay, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? From LA and shit, right? He's going to say that. And he's like, you know what? My brother-in-law, my father-in-law went through the other day. This was about 2 months ago. He said that they were in line and he accidentally bumped into this white guy, right? This is an older man too, by the way. And then, you know, like he wasn't even thinking of anything, but the white guy turned around and I guess he thought he did it on purpose or some shit. And he's like, I don't know, talking shit. And he said something to the effect of, you know, we stopped being afraid of you 10 years ago. So obviously El Suegro didn't get it, but, you know, the brother knew. He's like, that's when Trump slowed down that that fucking escalator and shit. The Mexican people are rapists. They're murderers. They're spicks, beaners that only take, you know what he said. But basically that's what he meant. You know, we live off society in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, say the Lord, I will securely avenge them. Avenge them. So we saw what he did. Now look at this. They go and try to arrest him.
Get this out of here. Illegal.
This man seen shouting at a fruit stand owner is now dead after an officer-involved shooting Wednesday.
Go back to Mexico. Illegal.
Oregon State Police say they went to arrest 49-year-old Daniel Edward Noonan for bias-related crimes connected to this incident. On Wednesday, when troopers and Newport police went to a home along Siletz Highway, authorities say Noonan immediately engaged officers in gunfire. Officers returned the fire, critically injuring him. He later died at the hospital.
Scriptures talk about how there are spirits made specifically for destruction. You know, and they want to do good in their part, to please the Creator. I don't think you guys understand how deep that rabbit hole goes. Let me see what the... Oh, that's right. What's up, brother? Good to have you here, man. In Impala 1958. Imperialist colonialist looms. Well, no, it's been here. It's been here. Keep this in mind. Here's the message, and then we move on.
You voted for a candidate endorsed by the KKK. For the rest of your life, you have to know that you voted the same way as the KKK. No ifs, ands, or buts. No doubt about it. Which I told him she was chiming in and agreeing because there's no way around it. You voted for hatred. You voted against women, against the gay community, against Mexicans, against blacks. And you're going to call yourself a Christian? I don't give a fuck if you go to church 23 out of 24 hours. You're a mean motherfucker. And I hope that they come after you someday when you're not expecting it.
See, it was funny that, to me, it was funny that I found that right when I found the other video. Like, I found that video, and then I found this one right after. See, these words do manifest themselves, man. And the wickedness of these people that have just completely, blatantly, you know, I don't know, bro. You know, I say this, and I'm telling you, my family, my kids know, man. They know what's up. And this guy has a message, bro. You know, I just want to share it with y'all because we're going to get into the videos with the brother here. I want to give you guys an update of what's going on. And again, family, if you really want to do this right, there's no point. Let me rephrase that. I would suggest to make your prayers towards the family who are still here with us. They did not get rid of the brother. In flesh they did, not in spirit. You know what I mean? Like, so just keep that mindful because it's a lot of us sometimes because of religion has focused on, let's pray. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to pray for the dead. No, bro, he's dead. Pray for the living. For the ones that actually, this man worked his ass off. He had his own company. I know how long it takes to even do that. He paid for his first kid's college, second kid's college. Then his other kid was in the process of finishing college. All of his hard work. Kids, they seem reasonably, you know, gente that any parent would like to have as a child. Respectful, adults, responsible, and appreciative. And not embarrassed of the fact that his dad was a framer. Nah, bro. Like, nah, that's my father. Message.
What's going on, mi gente? As a parent of brown children who live in a majority white community, not in an all white community, but a majority white community, here's a word of advice for other parents like me. Do not ever allow your black and brown children to be the only black and brown children in the group. They might be with them, but they will never be considered one of them. Stay woke, mi gente. Dale.
Hope that didn't offend you. But it's true. So I want to give you guys a perspective here of, before we show that video, what we're talking about. So this is a European podcast channel. And this caller called in. And I'm going to share a good portion of the video because you need to hear this shit. Okay? This is what we're dealing with because his whole cabinet is about this. The fucking dude is a racist. Everybody in his cabinet are racist. There's not no one person in there that is not racist. I'm telling you because it takes, listen, what's that old saying? Birds of a feather flock together.
can define it.
I've done that already. I've written a bloody book about it, Mark. I've done my bit in this field, but
Okay.
yeah, no. I before you go, actually, you need to do one more thing. How does it play out? What happens next?
What happens next is whatever the most chaotic stuff he can dream up in his head is. The tariff thing is just the beginning. He's going to start coming down, and this won't really cause a ripple in the rest of the world, but he's going to start.
If you think you already know the story behind Donald Trump, you might want to think again, because what you're about to hear is...
I'm good, thank you.
Good. I first covered Donald Trump in 1975.
Go on.
He was, at that point, a builder, developer, and he and his father had opened an apartment complex called Trump Village.
Yeah.
He was openly racist in that he never allowed black people to live there. Eventually, he got taken to task in 1975, and he ended up having to sign what's called a consent decree, which was that he had to stop discriminating. 3 years later, he had to sign a second consent decree. That's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
All right. It's as simple as that. This is a guy who, through the years, as many of your callers have pointed out, never, ever, and this comes from his father, never admitted he was wrong about anything. And that's how he's running the country. And put simply, to quote a Columbo episode, all he wants is all there is, period. He hates non-autocratic Europe. He hates Keir Starmer. He hates you. I hate to say it, but it's true. Donald Trump hates anybody that stands in his way or has any progressive bone in their entire body. And he thrives off chaos, which is why nobody can predict what he's going to do next, because he thrives on that kind of chaos. And the people who benefit from that kind of chaos. Does anybody know how J.D. Vance ended up being vice president?
Well, I mean, the word is that it was what Peter Thiel wanted, and that Trump was persuaded by one of his sons that...
That's right, Donnie Jr.
Yeah.
Donnie Jr. lobbied incessantly for J.D. Vance. Otherwise, he wouldn't have the gig.
When you say you covered him in the 70s, in what capacity, Mark?
I worked at a radio station.
Oh, that'll never catch on, will it? Well, then you're well placed, because the 1973 stuff, I think Hillary Clinton brought up during the election, and it didn't land. I'll tell you the other thing it does, if we're going to get psychological, which we have done so far today. It explains his continuing hatred of diversity, equity and inclusion, because that was one of the occasions when he did actually get his knuckles rapped fairly robustly by the authorities for being a racist. For
You know what DEI actually stands for?
Go on.
Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka.
I'll ask you what I've asked everybody then. How does he get away with it? And for you, this is a 50-year canvas that you can paint on now. How does he get away with it? When some of the stuff you're telling me is so obvious, and much of it is on the record.
He gets away with it because for many years he was a New York phenomenon. All right, people in New York knew who he was. People in New York.
All right, so the reason I wanted to play this long is because I need you to pay attention to what he says right here. This is what caught my attention of the video. But it's important to hear the entire context, right? Y'all know how this channel works, man. I'll show you scripture. I'll show you videos. I'll bring out books. You know, this is what we do. Any way to get the message out, all right? So in this case here, he says how Trompetas is famous in the East. Then Trompetas is famous in the West, right? But, you know, no biggie. But then through a show, he becomes famous in the middle of North America. You know, the belt line, where the fucking Republicans mainly are. And he said one key word that triggered them all, that made them connect with him, because that key word gave them power. It's going to blow your mind to find out what that key word was.
Knew who his father bribed so that he could get, for example, the construction of a hotel that was against zoning law, that kind of stuff. And then people on the West Coast started knowing him when he started spreading his wings a little bit. But most people in the middle of America had no clue who Donald Trump was until The Apprentice.
Right.
And that whole "you're fired" thing, which is entertainment.
Sure.
Okay, I never watched it, but it's entertainment.
Yeah.
That convinced Donald Trump that one day he could be president, because these people in the middle of the country would follow him once he developed a line that they could agree with and that they could align with.
See that one? That one. You're fired. You're fired. Now, I'm going to say this to you, fam. The English language is a very strange language, if you guys don't know what I mean. It's put together by different ones. And some say that there are words that you pronounce or say that, I don't know, technically means something else. Let me see what you're saying. Waracuya, Trump purchased his cement from mob boss Frank Costello. Oh, okay. This is back when Trump's tower was being built. You know, I saw a little bit of that movie, or yeah, I think it was a movie, right? And how he used that other attorney, the Khazar, the Letterman Khazar. You know what I mean? In secret. He was corrupt. Now, remember, keep in mind that. Let me not forget the point. Sorry, but I appreciate you sharing, bro. The point was here that he gave them.
Okay, I never watched it, but it's entertainment.
Yeah.
That convinced Donald Trump that one day he could be president because these people in the middle of the country would follow him once he developed a line that they could agree with and that they could align with. This is a guy who appeals to the religious right in America, who's been divorced 3 times, had I don't know how many affairs. I mean, it boggles the mind how easily people get away with it. But listen, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
So I wanted to bring this to your point because a lot of our gente didn't realize this. Hold on. Let me see what I'm doing here.
Trans people, groomers.
Oh, no, I'm gonna. Let me see which one I'm looking for. Okay, here it goes. All right, so let's
we begin with a.
Let's stop right here, family. All right. This is what new video shows about ICE. Okay. This just occurred maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes ago before I even started this. I think before I started live, it came up about 30 minutes prior.
Pursuit for answers in that deadly ICE operation in East Houston. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ron Trevino.
And I'm Brianna Berry. Lorenzo Salgado was shot by an ICE agent Tuesday morning near Canal Street and Highway 90. Surveillance video of the moments leading up to the shooting are now surfacing, but still no footage of the shooting itself has been released.
The incident is being investigated by multiple federal agencies. Local elected leaders are calling for an independent investigation. The Harris County District Attorney says he is launching one, while Houston police say it's out of their jurisdiction.
From the latest in the investigation to the outcry in the East End, we are covering it all.
And we begin with
security video shows the white van making a sharp left turn and hitting a curb with an unmarked SUV driven by ICE trailing closely behind. Here's a closer look, slowed down, of it hopping the curb. A few doors to the east, a homeowner's video picks up the pursuit. The unmarked ICE vehicle, driving on the wrong side of the road, catches up to the van. Here it is again. A construction zone has narrowed Canal Street down to 2 lanes. In video we obtained earlier from a nearby medical clinic, the ICE SUV with no visible emergency lights appears to cut the van off. Both vehicles turn around and head back west on Canal. And back to the gas station video, Salgado's van comes back into frame. Zooming in, you can see ICE agents removing someone from the passenger side and taking them to the ground. And Salgado's family and public.
So that to me doesn't look anywhere near somebody trying to run you over. And then this is what actually they just found out. Houston ICE shooting, no body cam worn by ICE. No body cam. You understand what that? No body cam. That's it. That's their excuse. No body cam. Remember, keep in mind, this is what, didn't they say, isn't this what you white people wanted? Assimilation, the American dream, buy a house, get a business, build a family, take them to college, be productive. Was he not productive? Are his kids not productive? Or is his other child who's in college not fucking productive? More likely than they were Christians just like you, Cracker Barrels. Is that not what you wanted? You wanted this and you still killed the man. Under your religion, under your white Jesus, under your New Testament, under that total bullshit lie that we've been told for too long.
Well, good evening to you. We begin Fox 26 News with some breaking news related to the deadly shooting in.
If the Virgin Mary is not real, what makes you think Jesus was? Hold on.
A ver, que alguien me explique.
Involving ICE.
Longtime Houston Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia told Fox 26 political reporter Greg Rugen some very disturbing revelations about the intended target of this ICE operation. Also answered a question that we've been wondering about, the body camera footage. So Greg is joining us live in studio. Greg, what can you tell us?
Caroline and Rashi, I spoke to Congresswoman Garcia shortly before she conducted a fact-finding call with the chief of ICE. Garcia is now confirming that Houstonians waiting for ICE agent body cam video of the fatal encounter will be disappointed, because there is none. The Congresswoman is also reporting that neither Lorenzo Salgado nor his brother were the actual target of the operation, which is apparently aimed at one of the passengers in the van subject to an administrative warrant. As you can imagine, the Congresswoman had a great deal more to say. Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, you have fought many fights in your long career. This may be among the toughest. What answers are you seeking for the Salgado family and for the community you represent?
This man had no criminal history. Are we really safer because he died? You know, why was he targeted? What evidence or why did he was even stopped? So those are questions that are just simply going through everybody's minds. But then there's the other issues in terms of, you know, we cannot accept ISIS version of the story. It's too much like the Renee Good case, where they alleged that she had weaponized her car. That's what they've said here. He weaponized his van. That she had tried to run over an officer. They said that here, that he had tried to run over an officer, and that he had evaded arrest. They said that then, and that then they had to act in self-defense. So self-defense, you know, they could have just shot at the tires. And we still don't know whether he was shot while he was in the car or outside of the car, because we don't know all the facts yet. We've asked and demanded the body cameras. Now I understand that they weren't wearing any.
There were other people in the van.
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to speak to them? Do you know where they're being held? They are material witnesses and should be able to have counsel.
Oh, wait till I show you the other video, bro. Y'all are gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah, they're actively trying to deport them.
Those are the only witnesses we have. And I'm hearing from the families that the ICE is pressuring them to sign voluntary requests for self-deportation. So if you get the witnesses out of the country and out of reach of an investigation, then what happens? Their story sticks because there's no controverting evidence. So they have a lawyer. One lawyer does represent all three of them. They are.
Now, let me ask you something. Do you guys think this is something new? I'm sure you, but they're Christians. Oh, how many people come to this channel try to tell us that, you know, Christianity is fucking the best thing that ever came after sliced cheese? How long is our gente going to start, like, how long is it going to take to start waking the fuck up? The Christian religion, all the stuff that they brought us, the shit is fake. This world has had many saviors claiming to be the God, with many moms that were supposedly virgins. Some had a little bit more awkward stories like Nimrod and shit. Others were even worse. The fact is that they use this religion, this concept, this suppression of you, for you, not to really see you as who you are. What does religion have? The only thing religion has brought to us is fear, doubt, question, why, and then what? Why? Because they said it depends on a savior, not you. It depends on what you do, not necessarily, you know, situations. It doesn't even have anything to do with you just being a good person. No. You have to believe in their religion for you to be saved. And through their religion, they're killing people. They're saying assimilate to Christianity the Western way, what we do, and then you still shoot us. So it's not even about that. Open veins of Latin America. Share this page with you here. page 5, and it says, human murder by poverty in Latin America is secret. Every year, without making a sound, 3 Hiroshima bombs explode over communities that have become accustomed to suffering with clenched teeth. This systematic violence is not apparent, but it is real and constantly increasing. Its Holocaust are not made known in the sensational press, but in food and agricultural organization statistics. You understand what that means? The Holocaust, the real one, remember American Holocaust, 1492, it has not stopped. Every century it seems to happen, right? But they don't sensationalize it. Every year we see a movie about slavery or about, Israelis supposedly suffering over there with the Nazis and shit. But then every other movie we see about Nazis dressing up all perfect and doing some perfect militant work, and like they glorified Nazis. Have you guys not seen those movies? They make them all like dressed well and well-combed and living in a nice house and well-spoken and, they just killed people though. Do you see the fucking hidden message? Hold on a second. Let me go ahead and skip it here real quick. Let me see. The World Bank, he says, will give priority in its loans to countries that implement birth control plans. McNair notes with regret that the brains of the poor do 25% less thinking. These are your Christmas Christians. This is that religion you believe in. This is the glorification you have towards people like that. They don't give a fuck about you. The crisis of 1930, killing an ant is a greater crime than killing a man. Well, you know what that man would be? That would be you. I'm not going to read all this. I just want to show you this hasn't stopped, fam. This one hit home. This one, me dolió, güey. For some reason, bro. When I heard the news, I was like, oh, shit. When I saw it, I was like, oh, shit. And, we were at, we had planned for a day to go to the beach. This was Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? No, hold on. What day was it, dude? Monday? Man, I can't even remember. Bro, fuck, it's my mind that fucking, I'm forgetting a bunch of shit, dude. What's wrong with me? Okay, so we went to the beach a couple of days ago. And that's when I saw the news. And, I kind of looked at it. And we went home because, we met up at a beach. We don't live by the beach. Family met up over there. We had a gathering. And as I'm driving back, I just and my son spent the night at the family's, right? So we met there. He's spending a night over there. So I was telling my wife, I'm like, man, I feel fucking sad, for some reason. She's like, oh, it's because you probably miss your son. I was like, yeah, maybe that's what it is. Because the first time he hasn't spent the night at our house, right? He's with his grandma and tia. But as I'm meditating on it more and more, then it hit me. Then it hit me, man. This was really, for some reason, was really hurtful. This man didn't have to go through that. He was not a criminal. He wasn't a criminal. He wasn't irresponsible. He wasn't a thug. He didn't have 4, 5, 15 babies, mamas. He didn't go around fucking around and shit, spreading diseases, sexually. He wasn't dealing drugs. He wasn't cartel. He wasn't none of that shit. He was just like his son said, a simple man, didn't want you. Just don't worry about me, son. I just let me do my shit every day, worked hard, came home like every fucking Mexican dad that most of us have had. This book, Open Veins of Latin America, is a heavy-duty book. This is on page 7. It says, over a century ago, a Guatemalan foreign minister said prophetically, it would be strange if the remedy should come from the United States, the same place which brings us the disease. Now that the alliance of progress is dead and buried in the imperium purposes, more in panic than in generosity, to solve Latin Americans' problem by eliminating Latin Americans, the indigenous. The system speaks a surrealist language in lands that are empty in purpose. In lands that are empty, it proposes to avoid births. In countries where the capital is plentiful, But wasted is suggests that the capital is lacking. It describes as aid the deforming orthopedic of loans and the draining of wealth that results from foreign investment. It calls upon big landowners to carry out agrarian reforms and upon oligarchy to practice social justice. So they claim, hey, listen, we'll lend you money, right? Your country needs it. But we're going to expect a lot more back because of interest, which also has everything to do with your resources. The class struggle only exists, we are told, because foreign agents stir it up. But social classes do exist, and the oppression of one by the other is known as the Western way of life. You know, out of respect for this brother, I don't even want to like sound those sounds off like I used to. Just out of respect, man, because that's you know, this class today is about him, bro.
Being held at the Conroe processing facility, and frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if over the weekend they move him somewhere else, out of reach of the lawyer, because that's just the way ICE operates. It shows once again they have a playbook, and they're sticking to it, and it doesn't matter if it's Kristi Noem or the new guy. It's still an out-of-control rogue ICE.
Who's behind this? Do you know who's behind this whole fucking thing? Let me see if I have it. This fucking guy.
President of America First Legal. Foreigners in the United States who support terrorism must be deported. Those who hate our country and our way of life are not welcome here and do not belong here. We must demand the federal government remove these foreign extremists from our midst. If you agree, support us by clicking here.
He is in charge of the whole platform of deportation. He is the main guy. This is where I got the picture from, so let me give it its honor. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, killed during ICE operations in Houston. Family demands truth and justice. The death of a longtime Houston resident during an ICE operation sparks calls for independent investigation and renewed scrutiny of immigration enforcement and practice. That's where I got the picture from. I didn't want to use his actual picture. So we see here, you know, obviously you guys can go to the link, whatever. I just want to give you the references of where I got the picture from. And I want to listen to this real quick, okay? So you guys can hear it. Listen to what he says, and this is what I'm talking about, fam. When are you guys going to realize, bro, Christianity has done a big number on our people? They make us believe that we're all the same, that God loves everybody. And the reason why these bad things happen to you is because you're a sinner. That's what it says. And if you don't believe in Jesus, that's why.
Still don't have any answers. All we have to go for is their statement that they released. There has been no communication between us and our DHS.
Potential assault on law enforcement, they're saying.
Potential. My dad, he did not know that they were ICE agents. These were two SUVs, unmarked, no flashing lights, chasing him, right? They were following very closely. One of my dad's biggest fears was for his work van and tools to be stolen. In the past, it has happened before that his work van was stolen, and he never got those tools back. He got his van, but no tools. So ever since then, he's been cautious about where he leaves his van, where he drives, who's around him, and if anyone's following closely. You know, he would be very cautious of everything. He would not let anyone drive that van. He was the only person who's ever driven that van.
So no surprise that he wouldn't stop. Because
correct. If there had been flashing lights or if he had seen an emblem on that car, he would have stopped. He's done so before in the past for minor ticket violations.
Let me kind of trying to finish it with some of this information here, and see, was this the one that I wanted to show you? Matter of fact, you know what? Let me go here. This is going to be an extended one.
Not just still out there. I would go further than that. This
is going to be an extended one, and we're going to end it with this. Like I said, man, I'm not trying to do. First of all, I don't do classes for fucking, money. Okay. Second, this class is not about like, oh, look at what. Nah, it's not. It's just showing you guys what's going on and put your pray for that family, bro. And be mindful of what we're currently going through and how a lot of this has to do with your belief. Because when you guys actually think that we're all the same, nah, bro. That's not true. If we were all the same, we'd all get the same treatment. If we're all the same, then we would all get the same opportunities. If we're all the same, then you wouldn't see certain nation of people completely abusing their privileges, so to speak, and not even honoring. I mean, shit, man. How many treaties did they break with our indigenous brothers up north? Did they ever honor? You know, the actual Civil War was really the Civil War. Not the Civil War. Sorry, when the 13 colonies went to battle with the British, it was because of the grievances of the savages, so to speak. That's why the Declaration of Independence was written, of grievances. One of them at the end was our people, and they didn't like the fact that Britain or the British were respecting our people's land ownership. And they were telling the colonists, stay within your 13. And they didn't want that. So they went against their own to enslave and kill and murder and rape the indigenous. Push them over further and further. But that wasn't enough. They went into 1848, and you know where we're at today. So now, pay attention to this, man. This is a heavy-duty video. I know you guys probably don't hear about these people. I know this because these are lawyers, okay? So most of y'all don't never fucking listen. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people don't want to listen to them. But I keep mindful of things that go on. So she interviews the CEO of LULAC, which this book here, I believe, The Harvest of Empire, which is an excellent book to read too. I think it's this book or maybe the open vein. No, it's got to be this book, LULAC. It's got to be this book, The Harvest of Empire, mentions LULAC. All right? So let's finish it with this, man. I hope you guys can appreciate the message, but listen to the whole story, please, family, because you guys are going to find out what the fuck they just did. Not only did they kill this man, bro, but they fucking have disrespected him all the way to the morgue.
Another murder at the hands of ICE agents. That is what has occurred in the streets of Houston, and the man who has been murdered, his...
Yeah, bro, it's not just the church. You see, you have to understand what they're using. The New Testament, their savior, so-called, is just a repetitive religion. It's just a repetitive religion. I'm going to show you real quick. I'm glad you said that. I kind of wanted to wait for later for this, but let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Give me a second. This is going to be quick, so it's not going to be long. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Hold up. No, that's not it. Hold on. Let me see. Nope, that's not it either.
Because he's the pedophile, and now...
Shh. Quiet. Quiet, Vato. Hold on. Is it this one? Yeah. All right. So I've been sharing this for quite some time. Before we get that video going, I've been sharing this for quite some time, and I've said how the Old Testament has been warning us about, you know, those particular deities. If you go to Exodus, it explains throughout this whole thing what occurred, right? And then he starts giving us laws as you go further in, right? And you realize that the Most High said, do not go by the way of the Egyptians. Well, what did the Egyptians believe? You see, in the Old Testament, it constantly told us, don't worship the Queen of Heaven or her son. Queen of Heaven or her son. Reina del Cielos o su hijo. They all come from a concept of what? Trinity, Immaculate Conception, you know, angelic, mortal to immortal. Watch this.
Now, I spoke earlier about Heru. This is his daddy, Asar. Asar, the first individual in the recorded history of humanity, the first crucified Savior, the first resurrected Savior. The story of Asar and his wife Aset and their son Heru is the first story of a Trinity. See, because after Asar was murdered, his spirit came back and impregnated his wife Aset, who was a virgin. And then 9 months later, she gives birth to their son Heru, who was born coincidentally on December the 25th, the same date as his daddy.
Interesting that the white man hates these people, bro, but they worship the religion that these people created. Let's hear this again. There was many saviors, concept of Trinity, a spirit, however that spirit experience, whatever that spirit experienced became a spirit. Then he went down to the woman, virgin, had a baby with her, and then, you know, the baby came out. So the spirit had a baby with a mortal. Like the spirit supposedly came down to Mary, and then Jesus came.
Now, I spoke earlier about
some don't want to take that translation, but they're still in the New Testament, which the New Testament is all about this religion right here. Straight up. Look it up. The Greeks, the Romans, like all of them believed in this concept. They just renamed it. Dionysus was a son of a virgin. He was a savior, turned water into wine, used the Eucharist. He said, eat his flesh, eat his blood, all that concept. The bride, the groom. Let's continue.
Now, I spoke earlier about Heru. This is his daddy, Asar. Asar, the first individual in the recorded history of humanity, the first crucified Savior, the first resurrected Savior. The story of Asar and his wife Aset and their son Heru is the first story of a Trinity. See, because after Asar was murdered, his spirit came back and impregnated his wife Aset, who was a virgin. And then 9 months later, she gives birth to their son Heru, who was born coincidentally on December the 25th, the same date as his daddy. This is a story that was written by African people over 4,000 years before.
The perspective of what they say, right? That's like the most recent so-called understanding in Egypt, because the scriptures talk about, you know, the Israelites leaving Egypt. But quite frankly, there is history that goes way further than this right here. It goes all the way back to India. And there are some documentation that actually says that the people in India also went to Ethiopia and all that section, that they kind of have this concept. So, you know, history, I don't know, man. I mean, I can show you guys, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. All I know is that this does not belong to us. This concept of Christianity, Virgin Mary, be on your knees, all of that shit does not belong to our gente. And this is what's destroying our people. We're so focused on these religions, we're not focused on ourselves. We're meaning like our families, meaning like our kids. If you just understood exactly what that meant. I mean, I don't know, bro. But anyways, let's go back to the video. I think it's important. And again, this whole class was really done about this right here. About this brother right here, Lorenzo. I hope you guys can keep his family in his prayers. I don't know them, but this really hit home. And what you're going to find out that they did, it's probably going to bother you even more. And after this, we're done, fam. All right? Oh yeah. Hey,
Lorenzo.
If I do play a song, it's not going to be anything hype. It's going to be, you know, like to the standard today. All right?
Has been murdered. His name is Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. For 35 years, Lorenzo, according to his family, woke up at 5 a.m., kissed his wife goodbye, would load his work van up, and then drive off to pick up his construction crew to go and work in Houston, Texas. But on Tuesday, his life was ended at the hands of ICE agents. This is what ICE says. ICE claims that Salgado Araujo attempted to evade arrest as ICE agents tried to conduct a traffic stop as a part of a, quote, targeted operation. ICE then goes on to claim that Salgado Araujo rammed a law enforcement vehicle with his work van, his treasured work van, and I'll get into that in a minute, and that Salgado Araujo refused to follow verbal commands to stop, and that is when an ICE agent fired his gun in self-defense. This is what ICE is claiming, which flies in the face of what Salgado Araujo's family says he was all about, what his community says that he was all about. I mean, remember, this man's been here for 35 years in the United States, so he was very well known to the extent this.
So we know gente that's like that, bro. We all know gente that's like that. Like just have the routine, go to work, do their shit. We know our neighbors that are like that. Now, look, unfortunately, if you guys have never experienced living with like our gente, you probably wouldn't know that. But a lot of our gente, you could hear it in the morning. I remember every morning, my neighbor's fucking truck, 5 in the morning, every single time, bro. Routine. That's what they taught us, routine. Stay busy. Do it for your kids. The bad part was the infiltration of Christianity. Let's continue, man.
Private family man could be known in his community. But I want you to listen very carefully now, because this is his son. His oldest son explaining that the way that he figured out what was happening with his father is he saw a video on social media. And when he found that Facebook post on social media, this is what he heard.
Posted on Facebook that he had been shot. I recognized him immediately. Not from his appearance, but from his voice, crying for help as he lay on the street, bleeding out.
Lorenzo Salgado Araujo's family says that ICE's telling of this wild story about.
Wait, this lady is an attorney, okay, in case you don't know this. And she's the one that sued Trump recently, and I guess they fucking favored her lawsuit. So I'm going to listen for that.
Their husband, their father, that it's not true. They say that there's no way that he would have ever tried to evade arrest by ICE, that he knew to pull over, he knew to comply with ICE. And in fact, he had been living in the U.S. for many years, and he had been trying to get a work permit. And because he was actively in the process of trying to obtain his work permit, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo would have stopped and complied with these federal agents if he had known that the car that was following him was ICE or some other form of law enforcement. And that's really important here, right? Because these were unmarked federal vehicles that were conducting this, quote, operation when this happened to Lorenzo.
In mind, what that means is I have family members that have gone through that and one that's specifically going through that. All right? That matters to you. If you are filing and documenting you want to stay here and you want to, be here, and you're aiming for work permit or immigration, you know what I mean? Whatever the two are. Because that's typically what it is, right? Work permit first, and then green card, and then U.S. citizenship. And it takes years to get to that level. But anyways, the point being is this, that, you're striving for that, so you want to do right. You want to do right. You don't break the law. You don't do this. You don't do that. The only error in regarding to the immigration, because that's a civil matter, not a fucking criminal. It's a civil matter, would have been like, hey, well, you're working, while you're here. Like, oh, well, obviously that's something the judge could handle, blah, blah, blah. That's not a criminal matter. It's a civil matter. Regardless of that didn't matter to them. But this man was trying to do that, and it takes time to get the paperwork going. They want documentation, they want tax returns, they want to make sure that you actually can take care of your family. Like, they really require a lot, man. The process is slow and it's expensive. You understand? All right, let's continue.
Salgado Araujo, no criminal record, and that's according to the Harris County District Attorney's Office. No convictions in the time that he had been here in the United States, working hard, raising a family. Now, don't expect real answers from the Trump administration. The Department of Homeland Security's Office of Inspector General is now leading the investigation into this killing of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. And the FBI's Houston field office is investigating the alleged assault on the ICE agent by Lorenzo. Now, I want you to listen also to what his family said. His family said that for more than a year and a half, as I told you, he had been trying to obtain a work permit. He had submitted pictures, statements from employers and loved ones, and other necessary documentation to get this work permit application approved. And according to his son, he was so close to being able to obtain his legal status. Ronaldo Salgado, his son, saying, "We dotted every I, crossed every T, filled every document, attended every appointment." Ronaldo also saying during a news conference yesterday that his father, Lorenzo, never wanted his name to be known by anyone outside of his family. He wanted nothing else in life but to provide for his wife and to see his sons become great people. Ronaldo.
Let me say this to some of you guys that don't understand what that means, okay? Because gente like us, we went through some shit, man. Okay? We went through some shit, and some of us had some fucking crazy parents, man. Some crazy alcoholic parents, especially in Mexico. That was like the main thing, you know what I mean? Not necessarily other drugs. It was like alcoholismo, güey. And a lot of us know, like a lot of us have memories of those things when we hear certain songs. I'm going to give you a glimpse of what I'm talking about, okay? I'll play for like a minute because I don't know I don't want them to block me, but this can give you an idea why this man fucking, like, look, I don't know. I just want to take care of my kids and I want to love. That's it. That's all he wanted, because you don't know his past. You know what I'm saying? This might have been it.
Soy el más desdichado del mundo y la culpa la tiene este vicio. Me dejó la mujer que tenía, ahora pierdo también a mi hijo. Él jamás supo lo que era un padre, porque yo andaba siempre borracho, él pidiendo en la calle limosna para que yo siguiera tomando. Una noche lluviosa de invierno, llegó el pobre hasta donde yo estaba y me dijo, perdón papacito, ahora sí que no me dieron nada.
Some of us are very familiar with songs like that, because those songs do touch our memories. Either we lived through it or we've known people that have gone through that. If a man is driven to take care of his family, work his ass off, and have a routine, bro, you got to respect the man that does that instead. And you wanted him to be assimilated, business owner, send your kids to our college, pay your taxes, do it right. He's fighting the paperwork, not enough for you. Then you go and label him as a fucking criminal. That's Christianity for you. That's the New Testament for you.
Also says that when he went to the hospital, once he found out where his dad had been taken, after being shot in the abdomen and bleeding out on the sidewalk, moaning in pain, as we heard Ronaldo describe, that's how he was able to identify that video was depicting his father who had been shot by ICE agents, because he saw the video and he heard his own father's voice crying out of pain and begging for help. When Ronaldo made it to the hospital, he said no one would give him answers about his father's condition, and he only learned later that his father had died from reports on social media. Now, what Lorenzo says here really, really struck a chord and hurt my heart. And this is what he said about his father, Lorenzo. He said, quote, "He did not deserve to be reduced to a headline of Mexican man shot and killed by ICE. He deserved to live a quiet life as Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, a husband, a father, and a job creator for dozens of men who also wanted the American dream." Salgado Araujo.
That what the evangelicals wanted?
Of men who
Isn't that what they fucking preach the entire time? Isn't this what you white people want raza to do? To assimilate to your Western ways? The brother did that, but that wasn't enough. No, you had to shoot him because it wasn't enough. It'll never be enough, fam. And for all you like Dennis Herrera, pinche masputo, or American, whatever the fuck you are, bro, I pray to the Most High that He has no mercy on your soul. I pray for that. You were too focused on some fucking, LGBTQ bothering you, then maybe the issue is with you. Maybe there's some fucking shit in your closet and sugary stuff that bothered you so much to vote for a fucking piece of shit bastard that would implement this thing and make it lawful and be able to be in a situation of power that would be hiding the information, like no body cam. What a coincidence.
Also wanted the American dream. Salgado Araujo, known in the community as somebody who had a strong work ethic, that was fair and was willing to help anyone who needed it. If people knocked on his door looking for work, he would hire them to be able to work.
That shit, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. This one hit home, bro. And I cannot explain it why, but this one bothered me a lot. Don't forget his name. Pray for his family. Don't forget his name. Pray for his family.
Now, the reason why we are so stuck in a space of not believing ICE is because they have been proven to not tell the truth about these encounters and interactions that they have been having on our American streets. I'll give you an example. Marimar Martinez shot 5 times in Chicago. And when that happened, the federal agents lied and said that she had tried to do what? Ram their vehicle, and that they had...
He was the first one to get shot, Raza, or Hispanic woman. Nobody really said nothing. Nobody said nothing. But as soon as those 2 white people got shot, oh, fucking shit. A bunch of white folks came out. I wonder if you're going to do that shit this time. We already know negros ain't going to support us and shit. We already know that. Don't be surprised, bro. You know what I mean? Don't be surprised.
To shoot her in self-defense. Does that not sound familiar? That's exactly what we hear now from ICE as to why they killed Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. And yet ultimately, through the dogged determination of not only Marimar to make sure that the truth came out after being shot 5 times, but through her incredible legal team, the truth came out. The video came out to show that she never tried to ram any vehicle whatsoever. And in this instance, right now, Salgado Araujo's family is demanding that the video be released from the body cam and from the vehicles themselves, so that they can show what in the actual hell happened to their family member. Just recently, and I want to share this with you, in Chicago, an Illinois commission that was created by the Governor Pritzker to document alleged abuses committed by federal immigration agents, that independent commission determined that a Border Patrol agent had no justification when he shot Marimar Martinez. There have been other examples across the United States of incidents where people are either shot, killed, harmed in some way. How about Renee Nicole Good? And yet, it's only when there is a push for answers and the truth, does it come out as to what actually happened. Which is why this Salgado family and the Harris County DA, Sean Tier, is saying that his family and the community deserves the truth. But again, it's the federal government that is conducting the investigation into what happened here. So people are really suspicious about the information that they're going to be able to get. 3 other men from the van were detained by ICE, one of whom called his wife briefly to say that they were being followed prior to Salgado Araujo being shot. He remembers, his name is Daniel Tirado, he says that an ICE agent shot Lorenzo and the van door was closed. No.
Hear that? But there was no body cam. No body cam. We have a witness that said
video agent shot Lorenzo,
that he shot him. The same witness that they're trying to force to deport. This is your Christianity. This is what you guys go to church for every Sunday. These people don't like you. This is their Western way. Like Christianity, they say the Western way. You need to assimilate. Well, you do, and then what happens? You still get shot. You see, it doesn't matter. Since 1492, they've been doing this to you. You expect them to stop? What Akuya says, a point in history will come when our people won't take it anymore. It's either that or a lot of us start really letting go of that New Testament. I really pray for that. Because let's say we start doing it. And there, I don't know, solutions. Like we're all at this point in this world where it's like, bro, you know what? A lot of shit ain't making sense. And I want to make sense out of all of this. Or do I have to take this shit upon my own hands? You know what I mean? And we're all at that point. We're all at that point. Not just some of us. A lot of people right now.
And the van door was closed. No video, no photos, no footage has been released by federal officials about the shooting or about the vehicles. And the shooting took place in a place called Magnolia Park, a neighborhood in Houston that has been described as being a hub for Houston's Mexican-American community for a century. And right now, people are out there protesting and demanding ICE out of their neighborhoods. Lorenzo's son, Ronaldo, says that his father may have been scared. And that's the reason why he didn't pull over if he thought that these unmarked cars were going to try to steal his.
I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, if you think about it, fam. You're driving in your car and some fucking regular car, not a cop, just a regular car that's like driving around you, starts trying to get aggressive and shit and like starts telling you to do certain things. And you're like, where's the lights? Where's this? Who are you? What the fuck did I do? Right? People sometimes forget about that shit, bro. Like, remember, you're just driving by, like, you know, going to work, whatever, your routine for 5 years. And all of a sudden, somebody drives up to you and shit. And you're over here trying to submit paperwork. You're thinking, okay, this is going to be good. I got an attorney. Because technically, you need an attorney to work on that. And then some crazy-ass motherfuckers try to pull up on you. Like, what are you going to think? I'm going to think cops, maybe ICE. I don't know, bro. But still, if you can't, they don't identify themselves. What are you doing, bro? Like I said to you before, family, when Donald Trump won the presidency, everybody blamed the Latino Hispanics that voted for him. Then everybody was blamed the black folks that voted for him. Then they blamed all the Muslims that voted for him. And then they blamed all the whites that voted for him, all the women white that voted for him. Nobody blamed the Jewish people that voted for him. Nobody said nothing of them. Yet they voted for Trump 90%, 100 without a doubt. You think they don't listen to their synagogues?
Tools or even his work van. Ronaldo said that he used these tools for 35 years to build homes so he could send his 3 children to college. And that's what they've done. The eldest son became a teacher while the two other brothers went into engineering.
Did you hear that? This brother from Mexico, hardworking framer with his own construction company that built other jobs, put his first two kids through first two kids in college, one a teacher, two engineers. More likely Christians. White people. What the fuck more do you want? You see, this is where, like, this is fatigue now. This is fatigue. This one hit home, bro. Y'all fucked up. You guys fucking royally fucked up. Because if I feel this way, I know for a fact I'm not the only one. I know for a fact I'm not the only one. You fucked up, Edom. You fucking fucked up. And I say destruction to Edom.
Ronaldo says that his father was here for 35 years, just working, trying to achieve his version of the American dream. And in many ways, it sounds like he did. It sounds like he wanted to just spend time with his wife and eat a home-cooked meal and be able to just stay at home with his family. His family says that Lorenzo met his wife as a teenager in Mexico and that she made his lunch before he left every day and that he would listen to music and pet his dog on the porch. And now Ronaldo says his father will never be able to spend any time on that porch.
Been married almost 30 years, bro. Almost 30 years. I'm 50, which means that you get, also, I understand what it means when she says what she said. He just wanted to come home, enjoy his family, because once you get to this age too, you're not younger like you used to, you know, you're like looking more at, like more of a bigger picture. So you focus on the needs of other people. That my son, my daughter having their rooms, enjoying certain things, maybe some grass in the backyard or maybe a pool. I don't know, you know, the things that everybody wishes for that are like this man. And that's why it just hit me home, bro, because this is how I feel. I do my work. I come and I just family and kids and maybe this channel, you know, I'm not really a fun guy. Like him, pretty simple, you know, family, work, producing, you know, printing paper to pay the bills, enjoying family. Printing paper to pay the bills, enjoying family. He'll never see his grandkids. He'll never see his last kid graduate. His wife will never see that Monday morning breakfast that she made for him every day since they were teenagers. To understand what just happened. This one hit home, man.
Anymore. The president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, said that Mexico is preparing legal measures, that's her words, over the killing of Salgado Araujo because, quote, we cannot allow the mistreatment of our brothers and sisters in the United States. Just a few months ago in April, President Sheinbaum said that she was worried about Mexican nationals being killed while in U.S. immigration detention. And she said that her government would support lawsuits being filed by detainees based on the piss-poor conditions that existed in these detention facilities. She has claimed that the deaths of these detainees, she's raised that as a concern to the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights and said she was considering an appeal to the United Nations.
Talked about this for quite some time, and if you guys been watching my channel for a bit. And I had said that this was going to happen to y'all. I even did a short on this, dude. I even did a short on this on my channel. Let me see if I can play it right here.
diferenciándonos de la política.
Let me get the shorts from here. I had said that this was going to happen to our people. I've been saying this since 2022. Then I had a chance to actually do a video. I started learning how to do shorts and stuff, you know what I mean? So, you know, it was so then that's when I did this here. Hold on a second.
El consumo.
Wait, hold on. Come on, bro. What the fuck? I'm not trying to do that, dude.
El consumo.
Here it goes right here.
Okay, listen, I can prove who I am. 92% of the Americans.
Not it. That's not it, bro. Stop. Fuck, dude. Why can't I just play, man? There you go.
El consumo blanco ario del norte está acercándonos a la extinción de la humanidad. Entonces, los problemas políticos y de inestabilidad de nuestros países crecerán. Crisis climática que será respondida por el norte como en Palestina. No los van a invitar, no les van a permitir la entrada, ametrallarán y usarán campos de concentración.
That brings me to what Trump is now vowing over the weekend. And this should be known so you understand what we get from Trump tomorrow night at the debate might not be this extreme. He might even run right away from this, but to his base, with that programming, he is campaigning on what he says he will do, that he will order officials to go past what I just showed you the law is, that he will do, quote, bloody border enforcement, that he will have people, quote, killed immediately for returning to the U.S. border.
Getting them out will be a bloody story.
Them out will be a bloody story. I told you, since 2022 to all the way through 2023, this was one of the few fucking channels, bro, that was bringing you guys Bible knowledge, information with political info. Hardly anybody was touching on this when I was bringing this out. And I said it to you guys. They're going to treat you like the Palestinians. And now you didn't believe me. And now I see a bunch of TikTok and Facebook saying, oh my God, the Palestinians, the Israelis are in Mexico. I fucking told you. I told you since 1492, they were here first. Who the fuck do you think Columbus is? That's why my class tomorrow is going to fucking decimate that bullshit. Columbus was a Sephardic fucking Jew-ish. A convert, a piece of shit bastard that raped little girls. They're no different. He said it himself. Let me play that again, okay? I warned you. I warned you. It's going to be bloody to get him out, but we're going to have to do it.
El consumo blanco ario del norte está acercándonos a la extinción de la humanidad. Entonces, los problemas políticos y de inestabilidad de nuestros países crecerán. Crisis climática que será respondida por el norte como en Palestina. No los van a invitar, no les van a permitir la entrada, ametrallarán y usarán campos de concentración.
That brings me to what Trump is now vowing over the weekend. And this should be known so you understand what we get from Trump tomorrow night at the debate might not be this extreme. He might even run right away from this, but to his base, with that programming, he is campaigning on what he says he will do, that he will order officials to go past what I just showed you the law is, that he will do, quote, bloody border enforcement, that he will have people, quote, killed immediately for returning to the U.S. border.
Getting them out will be a bloody story. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. If you come back, you will be executed. You will be killed immediately. Not going to be easy, but we'll do it.
Hey, American Cholo, you voted for this shit? Or are you still too worried about homos or LGBTQs fucking around with your mind? Hey, Dennis Herrera, you stupid Honduran. Apparently, you guys are related. It's funny. You both are Hondurans. Did you vote for this? Or did you not listen to what he said? Or are you that fucking stupid and just stupid Honduran that you just don't get it? He told all of you what he was going to do. Massive deportation since Eisenhower. You guys don't know his history? It's going to be bloody, but we're going to do it. Oh, man, we hate the Palestinians as much as you guys hate the fucking Mexicans. Sorry, I had to do that one.
Houston has had heightened enforcement operations by the Trump administration when it comes to immigration enforcement since last year. And the Houston City Council voted to pass an ordinance that would have limited ICE cooperation, but then had to reverse course. Why? Because Republican Governor Greg Abbott threatened to cut more than $100 million in state funding for public safety unless the Houston city officials changed their minds. Sounds like extortion. I'm going to withhold money unless you do something that I want. I've spoken about this with several guests here at Katie Phang News. We may not see it make the headlines on the daily, especially by mainstream media, but ICE is still here. And we need to have these conversations. And that is why I wanted to make sure that the man who is leading LULAC, Juan Proaño, joins me to be able to say the latest from the family of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo and what needs to be done next. Joining me now is a critical voice when it comes to helping us understand what's going on right now in Houston and how best we can support and help Lorenzo's family. And that is my dear friend and colleague, Juan Proaño, the CEO of LULAC. Juan, I'm so grateful that you're able to join us today. You were literally just with the Salgado Araujo family yesterday. I started crying, I'll be honest with you, when I saw you break down, Juan, at that press conference, when Ronaldo was talking about how I'm getting choked up, how he was able to identify his father through the voice, his father's voice crying out for help as he lay dying on a sidewalk in Houston. Let's just start straight out of the gate. Tell us how the family is. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine what they're going through right now.
Let me give you a little history of LULAC. And like I said, I thought it was the books that I had showed you. But it's actually called, I don't think it's this one, dude. The Making of an American Underclass, the Making of an Underclass, the Mexican in the United States. Yeah, I need to find the book. Hold on. That'll make it easier. I need to find this book, but listen to this particular section over here of who LULAC is, okay? So it says here, Texas was more organizationally developed than other Southwest states, Southwest states. There, the League of the United Latin American Citizens, already recognized as the advocate for Mexicans, generally called for assimilation into North American society, generally, right? Similar organizations were formed in other states. Aside from middle-class groups, the poor joined and organized associations to help them survive. So LULAC had this mindset that, hey, man, if we just act white, bro, we'll be all right. Yeah, it didn't work. It wasn't all right. Again, LULAC advocated for Mexicans to assimilate. As far as I understand, this brother assimilated as much as you fucking could. Other than the fact that he knew that if he bleached his hair, he would not be white. You know what I mean? You disgusting fucking Christmas Christians.
Yeah, the grief is just overwhelming. The concern for Maria, Lorenzo's wife, who he has been with for over 40 years. They've been a couple since their teenage years and have raised 3 absolutely incredible children, educated, graduates, contributing members in their communities. As a teacher, Ronaldo's a teacher, and his brother Lorenzo Jr. is a mechanical engineer, and his other son is also, other brothers now, also at university as well. And the loss of, the leader of their family, the provider, the protector, if you will, it's tough. It's very tough.
And to lose a father, a husband, a loved one in such a violent, unexpected way, I think makes it just inexorably worse. Talk about the immediate reaction in the community. You were there. We've seen protests already, people in the streets demanding ICE to be out of Houston, but share with the viewers kind of the dynamics right now, the energy of what's happening there.
The Latino community is stepping up, for Lorenzo and for his family and for the community. I think what people don't understand about, it's not just Houston, it's Magnolia Park. Yeah. This is a community that has long-standing Mexican-American roots. So I think it was established in the early 1900s by
imaginary line that you Cracker Barrels created with your fucking Canaanite friends. That's all it was. Your stupid celebration of 250 fucking years is total bullshit because technically you became 50 states after 1848. That makes you 176. On top of the fact that the Declaration of Independence wasn't necessarily completely applied until like 1790 and 80 or 80. So you motherfuckers always make up your own history, lies, and make it seem like you're so glorified, like Donald Trompetas Mas Puto Trump. Dude, I think you guys really fucked up with this right here. You fucked up. Let me show you one more time, family, in case you guys just showed up, the results of how our creator said it's payback time.
Illegals! The investigation began here off Highway 101 and 229 last Thursday, with fruit scattered across the ground. Witnesses say they feared for their safety and the owner, Reyna's.
Scary. I mean, it escalated quickly. When I called the police 4 times on last Thursday, I knew that person was unhinged.
Police say they received reports of a man pushing a woman into a fruit stand while yelling racial slurs and attempting to take her purse. You can't do it! You can't do that! When Noonan returned, tensions spiked as he appears to collide with the owner's husband. Bystanders like Daryl Blanchard stepped in to help.
He was being very racist. I mean, on top of it, I've never ever in my life heard anybody talk like that, racist-wise. That was totally uncalled for.
Yeah. So before.
Idea, right? Now listen to what happened at the very moment they go and inquire about this guy.
Get this out of here. Illegal. This man seen shouting at a fruit stand owner is now dead after an officer-involved shooting Wednesday. Go back to Mexico. Illegal. Oregon State Police say they went to arrest 49-year-old Daniel Edward Noonan for bias-related crimes connected to this incident. On Wednesday, when troopers and Newport police went to a home along Sledge Highway, authorities say Noonan immediately engaged officers in gunfire. Officers returned the fire, critically injuring him. He later died at the hospital.
Me personally, I have never seen anything like that happened so fast like that for our people. But that repercussion, that fucking redeeming was real quick right away. I mean, what are the chances? Right? What are the chances that he goes off and goes nuts? Maybe he was already nuts, right? But what are the chances that it had to do with that situation? Now, for you Christmas Christians that are so confused and lost and like, oh my God, Jesus. That dude has been recreated so many times. That's why you're so confused. Listen to this real quick. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 7 says, so of thy people was accepted both salvation for the righteous, the brethren, and destruction for the enemy. So you can't just, you can't just go around and saying like, oh, we are the same, forgive them. No, scripturally speaking, God does not like that. You have to accept salvation for your people and destruction for the enemy. Let me ask you a question. If you're a father and somebody kicks your son's ass, are you going to go over there and be like, oh, let me go ahead and tell the other guy that kicked your ass, hey, man, you're cool, bro. It wasn't your fault. It's just that my son is not inclusive. You know, I love everybody. Does that make sense?
1911, 1920, Mexican Americans started to settle in this community. It's 97% Hispanic.
Wow.
The folks actually speak Spanish in this community. It is tight-knit. It is private. There's never been, obviously, anything like this to happen in Houston and specifically in Magnolia Park. But if I could, for a moment, Katie, just go back to one thing, okay?
Sure, of course.
The family is demanding the release of Lorenzo's body, number one. They haven't done that yet. So, it has been complicated because of the fact that they actually removed all of his personal identifiable information from his person before they put him in the ambulance. And what that required was the hospital to receive him as a John Doe. Okay. Even though the family knew it was him, they knew he was in the ambulance, the FBI agent that was on site, with Ronaldo, who was also there, who got there very quickly, did not provide any information at all, really led him on for hours and finally told him to go to the hospital to find out more. As a result, the family has had to go through extra hurdles, They've had to go through verification through biometric information just to, to report what we knew, that it was Lorenzo Salgado who was shot and killed by ICE agents. The family is a mixed status family household. The next of kin, Maria, is undocumented. And so, major concern in regards to that. So we're trying to get a power of attorney for Ronaldo to be able to go and claim the body. But they want him home. And they want to plan a funeral.
You see how disrespectful it is? Disrespected him, shot him in the stomach, put him on the ground, handcuffed him, didn't have no medical help to help him with the bleeding. Supposedly they care later. All of a sudden there's no body cam to like secure your safety, because that's the purpose of a body cam, to make sure that the people that are carrying it are ethical and to make sure that you don't commit a crime. And then try to say that they were the ones that were unethical. No, it didn't work like that today. They looked for a Mexican and they wanted to kill one. It's that simple. They were looking for a Mexican and they wanted to kill one. They wanted to put headlines. Trump wants to win the midterms and he used Mexicans to win it. They use Mexicans to win it all the time. What did he say in the video? It'll be a bloody, but we'll do it. It'll be bloody, but we'll do it. Remember the girl that got shot 5 times before the 2 white people that got killed? Nobody cared about the Hispanic girl that got shot. As soon as the white people got shot, well, fucking shit, the whole USA moved. Where y'all at? Hey, when what's that dude? The dude got his knee in his back and shit. All of a sudden, all black folks wanted to go fucking march. And if you didn't march with them, like, fuck you. You don't care about black lives. Where you at? Fuck all y'all, man. In this channel, I keep it 100% real. This is why I've been teaching this for a while now, fam. They both came and invaded you. They both raped, pillaged, destroyed your community. This is not just the hands of the white man, fam. That's why you are on your own right now.
I don't even have the words, Juan. I mean, I'm speechless. I really am. The lack of humanity that is being exhibited here for Lorenzo, for his family, for this next of kin is horrific. Yep. And yet terrifyingly on brand. They don't care. The dehumanization of our migrants and our immigrant community is just what they want, right? They just think it's just another person. And the fact that there is yet to be any release of any evidence, because let's stay in this space for a second. Prove it. You make all these lies and these accusations. We've seen it proven time and time again recently that they do these prejudged kind of release of information about people, and then the truth comes out later through the evidence that that's not what happened. There was no ramming of a vehicle by Marimar Martinez in Chicago. There wasn't the attempts to sit there and hurt other ICE agents, even in places like Minneapolis. I mean, Juan, this sounds like targeting to me. This sounds like, let me pick out somebody who looks Hispanic, looks brown, looks Latino, and let's just, corner them in some way. My understanding is these were unmarked vehicles as well.
Let me read you a beautiful scripture, bro, that when you start realizing exactly who these people are, it's just very hard not to understand exactly what they're doing. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 8 says this, and you should be mindful of this. If thou seest the oppression of the poor and violent perverting of judgment. This is oppression, bro. Let me simplify for you. Don't be surprised when you see that the government oppresses the poor and denies them justice and their rights. And their rights. Excuse me, Lorenzo, brother. I hope you don't mind. Every official is protected by someone higher, and both are protected still by the higher officials. Don't be surprised when you see that the government oppresses the poor and denies them justice and their rights. Don't be surprised. Why should you be surprised? Do you know why you shouldn't be surprised? Blessings, obedience, or disobedience. The Old Testament kept warning us not to follow the ways of these heathens. And it started with the Virgin Mary and that stupid ass kid that she likes to fucking breastfeed. Somehow you guys call him Jesus. If you actually read the Bible, it says in Exodus, like, don't go in the ways of Egypt. Egypt. You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? Give me a second, son. I'll be right there. Give me a second. Let me just finish this reading. It's so funny because, like, I literally started the class with this. 2 Ezra 15:10 says this. What does it say? It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And before, if you read this, he's like talking about, like, I'm sick of it. I'm going to fucking help y'all out because I'm tired of seeing my people hurt. Right? But he's talking about Egypt. This is way after Egypt. So it's talking about oppression.
I mean, how are people supposed to be able to keep themselves safe?
Yeah. So we believe the same. You know, they were casing the community, a prominent, Latino community. Lorenzo has no criminal record at all, confirmed by the local sheriff's office, confirmed by Representative Garcia. He's been in this country for over 35 years. He has three U.S.-born children. He is a small business owner. He had a framing company that does construction. They would have contracts on homes that they're building in New Caney, which is on the other side of town. He was picking up his employees. There were 3 others with him in that vehicle, including his brother, the uncle of Ronaldo, and 2 other employees. And those individuals are now being pressed to sign self-deportation orders. They're trying to get rid of them as witnesses as well.
Thank you.
Whoa, Juan, this is the first that I am hearing of this. They want to get rid of the eyewitnesses to the killing of Lorenzo Salgado by getting them pretty much off of U.S. soil and getting them out of here?
Yep. Tactics that we have seen DHS employ in the past.
Juan, I've said my expressions of gratitude about the hard work and incredible heart that LULAC has shown time and time again over years. LULAC was immediately there to help this family, to represent its interests, and to continue to fight for this family. Talk about how LULAC will continue to move forward with the Salgado family to be able to help them navigate even more.
LULAC, stop saying we should assimilate. Assimilate to what, motherfuckers? We didn't go to Europe. Dude, what the fuck is going on with our people? We didn't go to Europe. The white man came over here. Then they're trying to say, like, oh, you got to assimilate to us. Fuck you, bro. We're not from Europe. We're not from cold weather, motherfuckers. What makes you think? I mean, do you not think about, like, how you look pale? Do you not think about why you work so hard to be brown like us? Not black, like negro, like brown. Because that's where the beauty falls in. That's why you got these negros claiming that there are people. Because they like the light-skinned brown. They don't say, oh, hardcore negros are like from here. No, fuck no. They hate them. They call them Africans.
Of this, because it's just horrifying what this poor family's going through.
Yeah, so, I'm still relatively new. I've been in this position for a little bit over 3 years. And
Good to have you here, sis. Good to have you here, sis. You know what's up, Alicia? She's been following the channel since 2022. So everything I say, I haven't lied about. Everything that I've been saying since 2022 is coming to fruition. And then you guys want to talk about, like, oh, some of you guys are liars. I'm not saying I'm prophetic, but I was calling it out a long time ago, and it's happening right now.
It's incredible always to meet these LULAC members, local leaders, and there's literally a historic marker in Magnolia Park, which recognizes LULAC Council 60, which was founded in 1934. Wow. LULAC started in 1929, so we have had a footprint in this community, and the family has trusted our local leaders, with helping them navigate this incredible tragedy, if you will. So, we are working, they have legal counsel now. So we're working on, first and foremost, getting his body back to the family. The next thing that they want is they want to have all of his possessions back, his wallet, all of his personal items, the vehicle, the work truck that is his, all the equipment that is very valuable to them and to that family business is also under possession now by DHS and ICE. Obviously, we've asked for an independent investigation. We met with the local district attorney there yesterday and with the civil rights office too. And, they were, I feel like they were being honest and sincere about their request to do so, but also were very pragmatic about the challenges that they will have and that the federal agencies themselves will not coordinate their efforts with them. And so, the only evidence that there is would be the 3 individuals that were in this vehicle with Lorenzo, dash cam footage, the body cam footage, if you will, of the officers that were basically involved. And so we're asking from a legal perspective for the preservation of all evidence that that could bear witness to what happened and this investigation as well. And we're working to support the family. Lorenzo was the primary provider for his wife, for his children. He's paid the way through college, including his youngest, who's still in college as well. And so, she now does not have her friend and her best friend and partner in life. And the children have been very incredible, and they are now on their professional tracks themselves.
I think that was the one that bothered me the most, because like me and my daughter, the little one, like her and I are really close, especially because she likes soccer. So she's really good family. Like she's fucking good. She plays goalie, she plays defense, she plays forward. But man, she's good. Anyway, so like we have that connection, and I feel like her and I could, be really good friends, not just me being a father. Like I could be a lot, very important to her life, like a memory, right? Like you want that with every kid. I get along with all my kids, don't get me wrong. But some of the kids you just kind of have, like for example, my oldest daughter, we tend to finish our sentences sometimes, right? And that's fucking cool, dude. Like she'll say stuff and I'll say stuff at the same time. So like I have that connection with her. But with my little daughter, it's like we just connect real well with regarding sports and all these things, right? So that's why that right there, that was deep. She ain't gonna. She's not gonna have her dad around anymore to talk to, whatever suggestions he made, whenever she felt upset, sad, or lonely. Studying from afar, it is difficult. She's not gonna have that. What you guys did today, bro, or a couple days ago, I'm just telling you, Edom, you fucked up. You fucked up on this one. Sirach 21:4 says, to terrify and do wrong will waste riches. Thus the house of proud men shall be made desolate. Desolate. Destruction to fucking Edom.
But they have concerns for the well-being.
Sorry, and Amalek, Khazars, you fucking dirty bastards, and you Canaanites that fucking helped them.
Their mom, and for her financial well-being as well. And we launched a petition. Over 125,000 people are asking for an independent investigation. That's in the last 24 hours. We launched the GoFundMe for the family, which fortunately is doing well. It's been a little bit over $200,000. But there's no justice to be had here.
Can you believe that, fam? They barely raised $200,000, fam. Do you know how many racist motherfuckers, like that kid that shot those people, they raised like $1 million right away. Some white girl got fired because she was a racist. They raised $800,000 right away. This is what I've been saying since the get-go, family. They ain't here to help you. Because guess what? While we were getting deported and being in the news, there was a certain type of nation that didn't like that because they typically get used to being in the news. Now that they're more in the news, now they're trying to find more reasons to be in the news. So it's not. Please don't fall into the trap. Oh, it's just white people. No.
This man was young. I mean, he is a year younger than I am. And that's what makes it so painful. I'm a father of 3 and he is a father of 3. And he won't get a chance to see his, grandchildren. He had the rest of his life, really ahead of him. He was a strong, healthy individual. And he has just been taken away, too young.
Oh, no, well, I know you don't know that, bro, but let me just say it from a personal perspective, man. You're married 40 years. I'm married almost 30. You're married 40 years. You know this person, bro. You wake up every morning with them. You go to sleep every night with them. You get angry with them. You get happy with them. You have relations with them. This is a person that you live with. This is a woman, or in case you're a woman, this is a man that you love. It's like me and my wife, we're like, okay, babe, I'm going to go get oil change real quick. All right, I'll be right back. And she's like, oh, all right, cool. Because, I like to do that. And And then I just don't come back. And my daughter's 5. Oh, that was because they thought you were just one of those illegals. And you didn't want to pull over because I know you how you are. Says I didn't. Boom. I don't come home. They'll never hear my voice ever again. They'll never hear my suggestions, my, like my motivation, because I'm very motivated. I'm very motivating with them. Like I encourage them a lot, right? And very loud, and like I don't care. I'm not afraid to fucking cheer my kids on. They won't hear those words. They won't see that attitude. They will never, ever, ever hear me again. All they'll have is a memory or pictures of me. Not a conversation. None of that stuff. And now his wife cannot talk to him, make breakfast for him every morning. Every morning they got up at 5 together. Every morning. I need you guys to understand how marriage works. What is a decent marriage? White people call it a Christian marriage. Christianity is not enough. You understand this now? They gave you that to like un biberón way. Just shut the fuck up, you stupid Mexican. Christianity, here you go. Just let me shove it up your fucking mouth and your throat. It's not about stimulation, fam. It's about control. That New Testament does not belong to you. We never knew that fucking Jesus. That guy came from Egypt or India, whatever the fuck you guys want to go back to. This is why this is happening.
And 35 years in this country, no criminal history, no arrests, nothing. And listen, they want to say always on the other side, let's get rid of them because they're all criminals. They're doing all this bad stuff. And yet remarkably, he was going to work. He was in his work van. He was taking workers to go and do work. He was doing the right thing. And yet that didn't protect him, Juan. Doing that did not protect him. I think one of the important takeaways from this as well is just because we're not seeing it happen on the news every day, ICE is still out there. It may not be that huge, big surge that we saw like in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and some of the other cities, but this is a very true showing of how insidious this immigration enforcement is still, because they're still out there, as you say, doing these targeted operations in places like Magnolia Park.
Not just still out there.
By taking the parents, you destroy the kids. By taking the kids, you destroy the parents. Point being is you destroy. I didn't want to show this video to you guys, man. Honestly, I did not. But I'm going to have to because I'm going to finish it with this video. Seriously, I'm not going to show no more after this. It just baffles my mind that when we tell our gente exactly what's going on, you guys think that it's like we're like, specifically me, right? I'm not going to speak for other brothers, that we're hateful and shit, or I'm hateful. No, I'm not. I just read a lot. I like history. When I was a kid, I didn't want to admit it. It wasn't fucking cool. But I've always liked history. So when a creator asked me, or whatever he did, fucking woke me up, I went to history. And because of that, I read more and more. Because of that, I read more and more. Let me share this video with y'all. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to let them finish, and then I'm going to share this video with you guys.
I would go further than that. This is no different than the tactics that were employed under Kristi Noem and Bovino, okay? Mark Wayne Mullen hasn't said anything at all. That technically they're doing supposedly Inspector General. I literally just got a call from one of the small businesses that released video to us, to LULAC, because they trust LULAC with a message and not necessarily these federal agencies at the end of the day. And they've also been very concerned because now they are under
I got you, Guaracuya. Let me finish the video.
The eye of these federal agencies too. And so, a lot of concern at a community level, at a grassroots level. We're doing everything that we possibly can with the limited staff and resources that we have to be there for the family and to also be there for the community and to stop the senseless violence and killing and murders of immigrants who have contributed greatly to our country, to our fabric in so many different ways, from a cultural perspective, from an economic perspective, doing jobs that people just don't do or won't do.
How can people help? This is a moment that is so important right now. We are truly at yet another critical inflection point in history for people to step up and help LULAC and help this Salgado family.
Yeah. I mean, they can start going to lulac.org. You know, we have a legal defense fund. And so, you know.
Hey, listen, family. I would never have said this in the past, but if you can help him out, man, I'm going to see what I can do. My brother didn't have to die. Lorenzo didn't have to die, bro. Lorenzo did not have to die. You understand? Don't forget that name. Lorenzo didn't have to die.
Any contributions would be enormously helpful. We have a link to the petition, also to sign the petition. That's at the top of the page and an alert bar. And obviously to help support the family, 100% of the proceeds of everything that we raise through the GoFundMe will go directly to Lorenzo Jr. and Ronaldo and Maria, you know, the family of Lorenzo as well. And we need to have cross-coalition, multiracial, multi-ethnic support. You know, I was on the phone with Mark L'Oreal from the Urban League, and they'll be making a statement for an independent investigation with Derek Johnson from the NAACP, with Maya Wiley from the Leadership Conference, and also with our friends at the Democracy Defenders Fund and Public Citizen.
Let me just say that. You see how they wanted to assimilate back in the earlies? Now he's saying, oh, well, you need other nations to fucking... No. You're on your own, bro. We are on our own. Why do we... This is the problem with Christianity. You think we're all the same. Stop it. Focus on your family. And when your neighbor still starts seeing that, he's going to focus on you. Because that's what we care about. You guys don't get it, do you? Oh, well, if we all gather together because Christianity taught us that, I'm sure we're going to fix it. No. They're not killing everybody, bro. They're coming after us. And like she said, this is the one that's publicized. How many people of our gente is dying inside the concentration camps? Nobody's taking account for that. Unless it's public.
Spoke with Rob Weissman this morning too, and Virginia K. Solomon from Common Cause. There needs to be a national outcry at the same level and scale that there was for Renee Good and Alex Preti. Latinos have to stand up and speak up for themselves, and we are, and they have been. But these attacks are relentless, even if they haven't been in the news media since Renee Good. The fact of the matter is his detentions and deportations have continued at a torrid pace. Even last week, DHS announcing that they had detained over 10,000 people in a week, over 2,000 a day. And so they have all the money, all the resources at basically their disposal. And we know at the end of the day that the only thing that's going to stop this is going to be change in leadership in Congress. And so we are working with a coalition of Latino
politics at that point. Let's share this with y'all. See if I can get this out here. Oh, it came away.
Gog and Magog decide you're going.
Check this out, fam. Now, I will end it with this. And, you know, I'm sharing this with y'all because obviously I do bring out history. There goes Sonny with their live, dude. Good for you, bro. Hopefully I finish it early so I can go jump on his live. We see here exposing Israel, dark secret history. Listen to what he says. You guys are going to like it. This will be the last video.
To resettle Israel with Gog and Magog decide they're going to resettle Israel with Jews, you said. And I'm looking at the people in Israel, and you could argue they're plebs, proletariat, they're a lot of them drinking alcohol. It's not as if they're scholars. It's not as if they're intellectuals. And I'm not sure of their loyalty to faith either. So it doesn't really add up. It's such a pious, noble cause to resettle Israel from thousands of years ago. Okay. But what are you resettling it with? Just ordinary, half of them are flying in from America. I mean, they've got no sense of history.
Emily, what I'm trying to say to you guys regarding the New Testament is there's no savior. There's no such thing. It's the creator. It's the creator. Jesus, that's a fake story, man. They use this on us to fucking conquer our minds and our spirit. And to submit us into this fucking stupid ass, like, I don't know, anxiety within our spirit. Like, oh, I don't want to be bad. I want to believe, but it's weird. I don't know. That's what fake shit does. It makes you doubt. So when you don't doubt, you know exactly what you're looking at. There's no doubt. Pretty much like when you're not afraid. Like when you're not afraid to ride a bike because you're not afraid to fall, right? You're not stupid to do something that you can't handle. The point being is this is what oppression has done to you spiritually. Put fear in you to make you doubt that what you believe is not true. But what they teach you is legit. And it's not. It's not. There is no Messiah. Jesus never came. If you read the Old Testament thoroughly, it tells you that if that was to happen, there would be total destruction. The Apocrypha says the same thing. Shit, you want to go as far as Enoch? Enoch says the same thing. That when that spirit, entity, Messiah, angel, whatever you guys want to call him, is to be here, it's total destruction. And if you even look at the scriptures, the way it was said, is going to be the redemption for the Israelites. The Old Testament has nothing to do with that but salvation for not the Gentiles, it's everybody. So it's kind of like, your dad, you have a son, and he's getting his ass beat up by a bully, and he comes and tells you, and you're strict with your son, you tell him to follow the laws, you tell him to do this and that, and that's still happening to you, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to protect you. Son, you follow my rules, I'll protect you against everybody, right? And you're like, okay, well, I'm following your rules, and this guy's beating me up, and then all of a sudden, the New Testament concept, I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, son. Hey, bully, come here. I'm going to hug you. We love you. Hey, son, you got to love everybody, bro. Turn the other cheek. Turn the other butt cheek. When this bully smacks you, turn the other butt cheek. Because I'm here to save everybody. And you're like an Israelite, like, what the fuck, bro? You said to keep the commandments and, like, you'll get rid of my oppressor. I changed my mind.
Okay, this is a secret now. And we are revealing a secret, huh? It's dangerous stuff now. It's a secret. But it's a secret that the world knows about. That there are Jews who are cousins of the Arabs. They are genetically cousins of the Arabs. You can do a laboratory examination of their genes, their blood and so on, and you'll find the evidence, genetic evidence, that these Jews are cousins of the Arabs. They are Semitic people. And then there are other Jews. They are, of course, the absolute majority, maybe 9 out of every 10, are Jews who have absolutely no genetic link with the Arabs. They're not an Israelite people at all. Who are these? These are people who converted to Judaism once upon a time. When we do the research, it's dangerous research, of course. But if I know Maurice Herman, he's not afraid of danger. No. If you do the research, you will find that they are Chazar people who lived in that region of the world where Zulkarnain built the barrier. These people became Jews, and then some of them became Christians, having become Jews. And so you have Chazar on this side of the Christian, on this side of the fence in the Christian world, and you have Chazar on that side of the fence in the Jewish world in Europe. And they worked from inside the European Christian world and the European Jewish world to bring about a mysterious reconciliation and rapprochement, and eventually a Judeo-Christian alliance emerged. The Vatican, of course, played a very important role in that. These are the Jews and the Christians who are described in the Quran as Gog and Magog.
You know, if you look at the settlement of Palestine, the mass migration, the impetus to rid the country of the indigenous people, there are tremendous parallels with the United States, with the Americas, and Australia, etc. And is it just a coincidence, or is it indeed being masterminded by the same mentality or people?
The greatest oppressor that mankind has ever known in all of human history, the one who shed the most blood, who created the most corruption and destruction on the face of the earth, are these people who have emerged from modern Western civilization. And we were told about it, you know, once upon a time, long before you were born. The Lord God spoke to the angels, and he said to them that I'm going to place on earth one who will rule, Khalifa, remember that word, Khalifa, to rule. And the Lord God said to David, Nabi Dawood alayhi salam, David, I am appointing you as Khalifa on earth, and you must rule on the basis of the truth which has come from me. Truth does not come from the New York Times. It doesn't come from the Washington Post. It most certainly doesn't come from CNN. They tell monstrous lies. They don't even have a sense of shame. No, they've lost that now. And you cannot have truth and also lies. They're incompatible with each other. The angel said to the Lord God, are you going to place on earth those who will do this? They will commit facade, they will corrupt the earth, they will destroy, and they will shed immense blood. أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَن يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ. This is what the angel said, and this is what is happening. They started with an island off the coast of Europe that Napoleon had contemptuously dismissed as a nation of shopkeepers. But that little island gave to the world a scientific and technological revolution, which gave to it command of the seas. At that time, there was no air power. And Britain controlled the seas of the world. Britain controlled power with control over every single significant naval port on the face of the earth. And with that power, using power to oppress, using power to shed blood, you got the British Empire, a bloody empire. And these are the people who eventually transferred power to the United States, who then shed even more blood than Britain shed, and even more atrocious in their oppression than Britain ever was. So these are people who, if you cannot recognize them as oppressors, something is wrong with you. These cannot be a people who have received the law from Moses, Nabi Musa alayhi salam, and who are authentic Jews, and who want to live a righteous life. They cannot be a believing Jew and yet be oppressors. A believing Jew is my brother. A believing Jew, I can sit with him at the same table and eat the food that he is eating. Yes, because the Lord God told me, if the Jew offers me food to eat, that I am allowed to eat his food. That's how close he is to me. Yeah. These are not believing Jews. We don't have any quarrel with the believing Jew. We have no hatred in our hearts for the believing Jew. No, we are brothers. And we've been warned in the Quran that when we enter into religious discussions with the Jews and with the Christians, the Lord God has warned us. Ensure that you enter into dialogue and discussion in the best possible way, using the best language, showing the most politeness possible. Don't cross that line. That's how we relate to the Jews and the Christians who are not oppressors. But these 9 out of 10 Jews in the world today, plus the Zionist Christians, they are the world's greatest oppressors. And they have shed so much blood that a tomorrow is coming when even the stones and the rocks will speak and say, come and kill it. Because even the stones and the rocks will be fed up of these oppressors.
All right, fam. I hope you guys can appreciate that. Let me read. Oh, by the way, I didn't even say what's up to you, bro. Good to have you here, man. Spartacus says our people will never stand shoulder to shoulder as brothers in Christ with these Europeans. Don't matter if it's Protestants, evangelicals, Catholics, they all see us the same. I think what he means is don't stand arm to arm with them, bro. In case you guys don't understand that, like, let me read you a verse that maybe, if that may convince you before you do a stupid decision. Jeremiah 17:5 says, "Thus say the Lord, cursed be the man that trusted in man, and maketh flesh his arms, and whose heart departed from the Lord." Make it flesh his arms. Let me give you a little translation of it. And it says here, the Lord says, "I will condemn those who turn away from me and put their trust in human beings in the strength of mortals." Sounds like it may be. Do not trust this religion. It's a good point. It says MAGA. I don't know if you know about the definition of it in Asia. It means something different. But I mean, it's relative to what you're saying. Eli Sion, statues of Gog and Magog are giants and paraded in England. I think this video, this brother has a point, bro. The Gog and Magog, bro. Makes sense. I was curious about them because it's like, even if you say it's Russian people, well, that's what the Khazars were. You know what I mean? Jews, my behind, fake Tel Aviv is one of the most sodomite cities on the planet. Never are these people the people of the book. Fuck no. They're dismantlingly disgusting. I mean, you want to know why I say that? Because you guys say the same shit about our people. So then that's why I say that. If you didn't have so much hatred for us, I wouldn't waste my time with you. Family, I want you guys to appreciate this song and I'm not dedicating this to him. This is a song that if I lost somebody, because it kind of hit home when I first heard it. I played you guys this brother before. I never played this song here because it just doesn't relate. But I'm going to say this to you guys, man. That brother was married 40 years, bro. And his brother was married 40 years. Wife, 3 kids, all of them, basically you could say educated, living the quote-unquote American dream. The thing that Cracker Barrels wanted us to do, to assimilate. But apparently it wasn't enough. So I'm playing this song in a sense of when you lose somebody. His wife lost somebody, man. So his kids lost somebody. So please pray for this family, man. They lost a good dad, bro. Regardless of what he believed in, I understand. I get it, man. Maybe you didn't know, but still, this man stood up for his family, took care of them. Bro, it's not easy to have 3 kids in college, man, and still fucking handle it and offer jobs to other people. This dude is like a tree, bro. A tree where birds sit in and shit. Oh, thank you for being here, tree. You gave me a home. I appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer your seeds back and forth. You see what I'm saying, bro? But that wasn't enough. Christianity was not enough. The fact that he looked like us is why it was not enough. I hope you guys can appreciate that song from that angle. That's the only reason why I'm playing it. Have a good night.
Sobre cuando más te quiero hablar. Permíteme decirte que no es fácil el amar, y desde que llegaste todo vuelve a ser verdad. El mundo siempre en contra porque teme al verbo amar. Tus manos son de seda que me duermen al tocar. Tu boca la respuesta a las preguntas del azar. Tu nombre es religión, difícil de pronunciar. Imposible de olvidar. Solo me queda rezar. Solo me queda rezar. Por cada copa de ese vino que encendía la pasión. Por esa playa sin destino junto al barco sin timón. Por ese faro del desierto que ilumina la ilusión. Por la luna y por el sol. Por tus besos y mi sol. Jubesma, gal, jubesma. Jubesma, gal, jubesma. Jubesma, gal, jubesma. Cuando más lejos de sentirse vive, cuando más cerca de morir reside, cada fragmento entre tú y yo hace que vuele sin temor y que separe el reloj. Y como aquel poeta iluso escribe, sobre lo nuestro nadie más decide, pues este mundo es de los dos. Aquí gobierna el corazón, solamente el corazón. Por cada copa de ese vino que encendía la pasión. Por esa playa sin destino junto al barco sin timón. Por ese faro del desierto que ilumina la ilusión. Por la luna y por el sol. Por tus besos y mi sol. Jubesma, gal, jubesma. Jubesma, gal, jubesma. Jubesma, gal, jubesma. Cuando más lejos de sentirse vive, cuando más cerca de morir reside, cada fragmento entre tú y yo hace que vuele sin temor y que separe el reloj. Y como aquel poeta iluso escribe, sobre lo nuestro nadie más decide, pues este mundo es de los dos. Aquí gobierna el corazón, solamente el corazón. Y seguimos en el baile, que no se lo lleve el aire. Y seguimos en el baile, que no se lo lleve el aire. Jubesma, gyal, jubesma, jubesma, gyal, jubesma.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.